Hope you're all still awake. Late Night Mega here, and we ran into the rare version of the Sprite Bulb there. The white bulb.
Ever so sorry.
And I have been using Serena's thwack off camera. There was even a couple battles where I got into like 3 or 4 of those Sprite Bulbs and using thwack and just instantly ending the battle with it. So it's been kind of nice. And
Well, that was easy.
yeah, that was a lot easier than what I expected. Alright. So now with those 2 out of the way, that's 2 of our 4 quests here done. We just need to do Fit as a Fiddle, where we find a leaf of red kale. And then we have to do the Pepped Up Paladin, which Ferris told us we had to head to, basically head to a place where only the Luminary could go, so I take that as meaning we need to head up to Yggdrasil. So that's where we're going to go and explore. Plus, I wonder if there's anything else that's going to be up here while, since we haven't really been here since the whole Jasper thing. Alright, so here we are at the World Tree, and it's playing Serena's song. I like that. I just want to make sure that I'm checking this area very thoroughly, because I don't want to have to come back here. And there's the well. That'll actually take us back down. And while I do like all the different colors of all the different plants that they got going on up here, when you're looking for a golden sparkle spot in the midst of all this, it becomes a little bit difficult to do so with all that foliage. And just the foliage in general, even without all the colors, would make it difficult. So yeah, that's why I'm kind of going pretty slow, kind of making sure I'm being very thorough here. Up here it'll be a lot easier. So yeah, this episode is just gonna be doing these couple side quests. We've got a couple other things. Do you have a couple other things I'm gonna be doing? There's something else I'm gonna do too. I don't think this is gonna take us the full episode. Oh no, we're gonna turn in the side quest too. Yeah, that's the other thing we were doing. Yeah, so we'll have 4 other side quests to turn in here today. And yeah, it's just gonna be like one of those little bit of a laid back episode. I am also going to upload a bonus video with this today, which is actually going to be like another 25-26 minute episode. And what that episode is going to be about, I'm going to do, after the end of this video, I'm going to do some level grinding. I feel it's kind of time to do that. I know I've been kind of putting it off. You guys know my basic feelings about level grinding. I'm not a huge fan of having to do it. But from the Dragon Quest series, I kind of expect to have to do that. I was kind of expecting to have to do that before we could beat Mordegon, to be honest. But we managed to squeak our way through that battle. But there are a couple spots that I've run into in the post-game that I just feel have been a bit too strong. Some of the monsters being a little bit overpowering. And I want to be able to get the skill points and fill in some more on the skill boards. You might think, well, you can do that along the way. I don't know how long this post-game is going to last. And my rationale with this is if I do a bit of grinding now and I get some skill points and I can actually activate some of the stuff, I would rather do that and that way we can actually have the skills in that and be able to use them on something rather than just have the skills and then, okay, maybe we just have the final boss, but we don't necessarily need some of the abilities for that. So yeah, my theory is let's get it that way we have more time to use this stuff. So that's another reason. And I want to make sure that I'm an adequate level for dealing with some of the rest of the post-game stuff. Now, me playing this blindly, I don't know what an adequate level would be. But I'm going to... I set out... I was originally going to go just to, like, level 65 on the characters. But it became kind of easy to level grind them. I'll just tell you how I did it here. So I ended up getting everybody to 70. Of course, a few people ended up in the 71 to 73 range. I think Veronica is like 73. While she was waiting for Serena and Rab were actually the two that were lagging to get them to 70. But that gave us pretty adequate skill points to get most of the main things that I wanted on everyone's skill board, except for Rab, because he is like the most starved for skill points. So I'm going to be uploading a bonus video today showing off... Basically, I'm going to have like tons of skill points for everyone, and we're just going to go around the skill boards and collect a bunch of stuff. So you don't necessarily have to check that one out. It'll be kind of like the bonus episode I did with Final Fantasy XII when I first got everybody's second job and started going through and picking all the skills. So it's going to be an episode like that. That'll be about half the bonus episode. So if that's something you want to see what all we get, check it out. If you don't want to, just know that when you see us in episode 140, and there's a whole bunch of new abilities and the characters are a lot stronger, that would be why. The other thing we're going to do in that bonus episode is we're going to go back to the Trials of Harma, or the Wheel of Harma, and we're going to do the trial number 4 again, because I did come up with a strategy for that. I'm not going to spoil it. Well, I'll spoil the prizes. The prizes, they're not that good. They weren't worth it, at least not the ones that I ended up getting. So it's not anything I'm going to be using, so yeah, I'm going to stick that in the bonus episode as well. So again, you're not going to be missing too much if you don't watch the bonus episode. But if you are interested in seeing what all we get on the skill board and that, there's also a pretty, I would call it a pretty clever thing that we do with Rab's skill board. So check out the bonus episode for that. Well, we've got one of the two with that. See, Thwack is working around here.
Another day, another... Ho-ho! I'm fitter than ever!
So yeah, that's what we end up doing off camera. The way I went about grinding. I went back to the Mangle Grove with those malicious muddy hands because they're really easy to battle. Even the other couple enemies that you could run into there, they can give you some minor problems if they're left alive too long. You definitely want to target them first. But the nice part about the malicious muddy hands, they're worth like 945 experience individually. But they have a high chance of, well, number one, they like to appear in groups of 5 or 6 at a time, sometimes even with the couple other monsters. So for that reason, it can be really easy to get battles where you're gaining 7 to 9,000 pretty quickly because they don't have a whole lot of health. I want to say they have around 200, 220. And so a single crack or Spirit Bomb technique will end up killing them all. And they also have, the malicious muddy hands, they also have a high chance of summoning, calling for backup and getting more on, so that gives you just more experience. Another thing I found over there was the rare version of the muddy hands, which ended up being the hardy hands, the same hardy hands that we found in that Wheel of Harma trial a couple episodes ago. And they are a metal monster, so they are going to take 1, maybe 2 damage if you're lucky from normal attacks. And they're going to give you tons of experience points. When I say tons of experience points, I'm talking like, whenever I killed one, it was like 35,000 experience points. Not quite as much as the Metal King slime, but better than the liquid metal slimes. Now, the cool part about the hardy hands, though, compared to like the Metal King slimes, I don't feel like they have as high of a chance of running away as some of the other metal monsters do. And they have a high chance of calling for backup. So yeah, the hardy hand can call for more hardy hands to come. And I think there was one battle where I had like 3 hardy hands in the battle at a time. I think one of them ended up running away, but yeah, that was kind of crazy, kind of neat. Here's the. Oh no, we got that treasure. Had me worried. We do have to get that other treasure that we missed. We are gonna make our way back to that too. There's actually gonna be a couple treasures along that path. Or the Jowler enemy. We'll fight him. He's not going to be that tough. Another strategy I ended up doing was I swapped Serena out for Eric because I don't really need Serena. But since we're fighting those hardy hands, the metal monsters, a really good strategy with that is to use Eric's critical claim ability. Yeah, it costs 64 MP, but it guarantees a critical hit on an enemy. That includes a metal monster. So if you're metal monster hunting, I highly recommend that technique. Because like I said, like you know, metal monsters have not only super sky-high defense, but they also have a really high chance of even just avoiding normal attacks. Well, you can't avoid critical claim. It will guaranteed land a critical hit every time. And they have low HP, so when you hit a critical hit, it's going to kill them. For sure. It's the hardy hands themselves, I want to say they have maybe around 8 to 10 HP. I don't know if that's quite how much they have. They didn't have nearly as much as the Metal King slimes that we found in Mordegon's castle. We'll put it that way. But yeah, critical hits still took them out very handily. Another reason you don't have to worry about using Eric's MP, using huge chunks of Eric's MP on those hardy hands, is that since they're giving so much experience, you're going to be leveling up. And when you level up, your HP and MP get fully restored. So there's almost no consequence to using your critical claim ability on those hardy hands. So yeah, if you're farming metal monsters, that's what I would recommend for you. At least that's what I ended up doing. I don't know, maybe there is a better strategy for that. I think I only spent a few hours grinding up to level 70, and my characters, at least against the normal enemies, feel really super strong now. Maybe a bit too strong, but like I said, there were a couple bosses that I've run into that were kind of giving me some problems. And the next place that I want to go after this episode, so when we pick up in episode 140, I want to go to the battleground. And I remember last time we were at the battleground, it had those overkilling machines. So now I'm expecting like a bunch of uber killing machines. But I want to go to the battleground to do the Holiest of Harps side quest for Serena. I want to get that done. And then here's the cave that I missed the last time I was coming through here. Which means I also missed this treasure back here, and there's going to be a ton of enemies in this room. Well, I guess we'll start fighting our way out. So yeah, I should be at an adequate enough level, hopefully, to contend with a couple of the bosses that were giving me some issues. Those bosses being the malicious merman group. I think there's like a malicious king merman or something. Was the main boss over at the Strand, because that's where the Fisherman Kai led them to. So yeah, I should be able to contend with that guy as well, especially since I got Serena her not just one upgraded, making her hymns upgraded or more effective once. I found a second panel on the skill board where she got that effect again, so that's twice we upgrade her her hymns. So hopefully the ice hymn, I don't know what percentage it would end up reducing by. 3,000 gold, all this way for 3,000 gold. Okay. I don't know what percentage her hymns will reduce damage by now. I don't know. I want to say like the initial hymn was 20%. So maybe upgraded, it'll be 40, 50%? I don't know. I'd have to look that up off camera. This technique is weird. Use crack here. So that's kind of what I did in the bonus episode in off camera. And I did kind of expect to have to do some grinding at some point. I don't know if level 70 is going to be enough. I mean, granted, we're going to level up at least a few more times as we travel through and do all these side quests and fight some other bosses and that. Some other things I'm going to check out off camera at some point. I haven't done it yet. I'm going to check out some of the other like past dungeons we've been to, like the Grotto dell'Elefante over by Gondolia, and here's that treasure. And I'm going to check out, what's the name of that other one? The one where we fought the condors and got the silver orb. Eerie Ire, that's it. I'm going to check those out just to see if there's anything going on here. And here's where I actually ran past this and I did not see it. Yeah, there's our red kale. Like I said, even though I was checking thoroughly, I still ended up missing it. I'm sure someone was yelling at the camera for that. Or their screen, or whatever you're watching this on. And another thing, Yeah, you saw how the video cut. I ended up looking up these locations off camera. The other location is actually the whale station. Yeah, I kind of cut out the playing of the whale flute there. But there's the tree branch that Prince Ferris was looking for. So with that, now we can turn in all 4 of our side quests. We'll go back to Gallopolis first. 2 of the side quests will be over at Arborea, and then the one Mistress Bev, she's at the downtown Heliodor. So we'll go turn these in, and for some reason we're having like an unusually long loading screen here. Don't know what that was all about. Oh yeah, so I was talking about the two of the bosses that were giving me a tough time. Somewhat that dragon in the snare fet. He's a lot tougher, but I don't know if I could have taken. I might have been able to take him before. I don't know, but and then Cobblestone Tour. When you start heading up there, because if you go into your quest menu, there is a side quest that says, hey, there's someone who likes to do art at Cobblestone Tour. Cobblestone Tour being the intro dungeon that we had way back in like the first episode. So you head back there, and then you start climbing up the place, and then you get you get ambushed by a boss. We'll put it that way. He has boss music. He probably shouldn't have boss music, but he's a lot stronger than other ones. Well, you'll see at some point. And he was kind of kicking my butt. I think he gets triple turns, which was one of the reasons he was kicking my butt. So we'll have him to contend with as well. But yeah, the first thing I'm going to do is actually go after the go to the what did I say? The battleground. Yeah, that'll be the next place we go in episode 140. That'll be the first place we start at. I wonder if all the treasures then will be replaced there, since we kind of went back in time and didn't get the treasures that were there. Yeah, well, we'll find that out too. But yeah, there's that one ultimate key door where they said there's a boss there. And then Mistress Bev here checks her crystal ball or whatever, and basically the spirits tell her to give us the divine dew. So we get that, and we get the pet pop. And I got a little bit confused here as to what the difference between Pet Pip and Pet Pop is. Turns out Hendrik is holding all of them for some reason. And so the difference is the Pet Pop, that one, that will make all of your party members instantly pepped up, and the Pet Pip will make one individual instantly pepped up. So that's the difference between those two. Okay. Up next, back to Arborea. And we also have the, while we're here, we can talk to Father Benedictus and see what side quest, main quest he had. He has the pink bubble over his head. So it's not like a side quest like these where we stamp our side quest book. It's like a main-ish quest. So there's that one done. And we get the butterfly baton. It's not better than what Serena has, so I guess, oh well. It happens. Alright, Benedictus. And he gives us the Rusty Scepter. Legendary Scepter of Time. But this one is rusty and broken, so we gotta find a way to fix it. Yeah, he says there should be some instructions from Drustin. Drustin being the soldier of the legendary heroes of old. So I guess from a canon standpoint, a can point, that should be, I should try to adopt that as a new term. Of course I'm going to say that, and nobody's going to have a clue what that even means. From a canon standpoint, it sounds like the canonical Dragon Quest III party then would be the hero, the soldier, I guess a priest who becomes a sage, and then the mage. That's kind of a lot of magic-based characters to have in that game. Well, not really a lot. I mean, we're kind of doing the same thing here. We get the healer thing. That is actually just the... we already received the card from that from the DLC, or the special bonus thing that I got with the game. Yeah, that. Not impressive. Alright, with that, be sure to check out the bonus episode if you're interested in that. That will be coming up today. And I will see you guys over at the Battleground with some really upgraded characters. What do I do here? Oh, I do get this. And then you see, yeah, here's the other holier hymns. See, I have 2 of those I need to get before I take on, or before I will go back and take on those malicious mermen group. And then Sylvando, I gotta get him the sleeper hit, or victimizer. I gotta get him victimizer for knives. That way we can use the snooze and bruise. That is a pep up power that is required for another one of the side quests.